We're only slightly late, right? It's less than, like, I would say 20 minutes.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Super Desperation Radio! Go!
Hey, we're alive and only slightly late. And Thea, go over there.
See, you unintentionally botched the intro.
I did not. I actually, for the amount of time that we had to do this, I'm surprised it went off so well as it did.
Well, I mean, we got a cutie on the show, so that's something.
Totally, I know, right? She wants to play the robot game, though. I can't oblige her right now because we have important business to discuss, like robot games.
Robot game, like, does she want to play Super Base Wars or Rise of the Robots or?
Actually, she should be playing Super Base Wars. Now that you mention it,
it's a good game.
That is a great game.
But not Rise of the Robots. That game's tragic.
We can do 2020 Super Baseball.
Ooh, I'm fine with that. What about Baseball Simulator 2000?
What about Football Manager 2017?
I don't want to manage. I don't want to manage football, man. Especially if it's the 49ers.
Oh, wow. Okay, so all right.
Stick it in there.
Gotta just let me adjust my mic real quick.
Where's your team? That's right, they left.
They were never my team, dude. They were never. I know. My team's been in Arizona for 20 years.
I've got no loyalties. Oh, wow. Your team's been. You're a Cardinals fan?
They were there when I grew up, man. Like, I don't like American football, but I had to root for them at the time.
Again, American football.
Yeah.
It is just football. It is the only kind of football.
No.
This is the superior football. I just want to let you know that we almost had that. Palmer gave us 2 picks. We tied it up. We're showing improvement. It looked real.
It looked like they actually played professional sports.
Exactly. It looked like they actually gave a shit for once. So
I don't know about
you think we're gonna get a quarterback with their first draft pick, or are we just gonna trade it away?
I mean, at this point, what difference would it make? Like it's like, you know, you're serving a birthday cake and you forgot like everything but like the bread. You know,
you just got to do what they do for every team. You know, these are rebuilding years. Not we're shitty. It's a rebuilding year.
Exactly. We're
just like the Browns, right? Rebuilding since '63 or whatever.
God,
dude, they're gonna be awesome eventually. I'm telling you.
One of these decades.
Maybe someday they'll have a Super Bowl appearance.
Like by themselves, like they'll be like they'll probably be playing the halftime show.
So we are back. There was a UFC fight. We can talk about that a little bit later. But what I want to talk about to start is Tekken 7 Nationals.
Ooh. Yeah, okay.
Because that was awesome. And we don't get to see special format tournaments a lot, but they did that so well. I'm still thinking about it. It was such a great tournament. The matches were all really exciting. There were some really clutch finishes. We had a double KO. It was just so well run. Yeah, it was just awesome top to bottom.
It went on very long, but that's what happens when you have, 9 tournaments in a span of one day?
Well, yeah, it was ridiculous because the first day was last chance quals, and that was madness. Single elimination tournaments.
Yeah.
And then
round robin to top 8.
Yeah.
How many pools were there? Like 5?
Holy crap.
It was
4 pools? 4 pools of 5?
4 pools of 5 people, top 2 from each. And they did round robin.
Yeah.
So
I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but everything I could, it was amazing.
And even the pools were crazy because one of the pools went to a 3-way tie between MYK, Naps, and Speed Kicks. So they had to basically play one after another, one match and then the first person who won 2 matches got out, and then the remaining 2 players had to play each other, and then in 1 match, and then the winner of that got out.
Woo! That's really by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah, it was wild. But for those who didn't watch it, Mr. Naps won in, I would actually say, pretty decisive fashion when it came down to it. The winners finals between him and Anakin was pretty close, but grand finals, he started to run away with it at the end.
Just took it away.
So honestly, it was the best I've seen Naps play in a long time. And that's not to say that he's not normally one of the top 5 best players in the nation, but he was on another level at the end of that tournament.
Just hope he can bring home the gold at Worlds.
That would be nice.
Because last year, didn't he he didn't do too hot? Or I think he did fine. I don't really remember. I want to say not top 4 though.
I can't remember how he did, to be honest.
Tekken.
And of course, the production was top notch. Great commentary. Both days. The team over there, basically, all those guys. Steve, Eris, Mark. So.
I gotta say, the little bit I caught, of course, I didn't get a chance to go despite it being in my neighborhood.
Same.
But
it was in the middle of the week, so.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you got a pretty good turnout for that too.
Yeah, no, it did.
Several people that I hadn't seen in years popped up, so that was cool.
I definitely was watching some of that, and I was like, wow. Naoki showed up. K30 actually showed up.
Just these weird names, and I didn't know them from Tekken. I just kind of knew these people from the arcade scene from back in the day, because the arcade scene in Tekken in NorCal was pretty much synonymous. So you just ended up meeting a ton of people, and I was like, oh hey, they are still alive and they haven't stopped playing. So I was like, cool. We're everybody's benefiting at the same exact time. It's perfect, But production wise, Tenno, and I'm not tooting our own horn because we're Tenno, but Tenno did amazing jobs back there. Whether or not they were credited or not, we definitely got looked pretty good. And I'm really hoping that this is just the beginning for that level of stuff too, because it just keeps getting better and better. And this was a relatively small event too, I would say, and I kind of like the way it was presented.
I think so.
I kind of like the way they presented it that way, because when people were telling me about it, I was thinking oh crap, are you expecting 800 people to show up? That's going to be a nightmare. And I think the way they ran it, even if they had shown up, it would have been all right.
Yeah, the way LCQs ran were great. They had so it was 9 of them, and I think almost all but 3 had 60 to 64 entries.
Yeah.
And it all took, so a single limit, it all took about an hour 30, hour 20 to hour 40 to run each. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, it was so fun to watch.
Yeah, that's just not easy, man. Corralling all those people in the middle of downtown San Francisco, no less.
Yeah.
For an entire day.
Oh, literally an entire day. They started at 10, 11 in the morning?
Yeah, it was 9 or 10, I think they were saying. And they didn't finish until after midnight?
Mm-hmm.
The first day? So, that's, you could tell as the day went on, they were starting to get mad tired.
Oh, yeah.
But still, they managed to make it fun and the whole way, no matter what.
Seeing Eris and Steve kind of rib each other, gave me some nice feelings,
Eris just making fun of him eating on stream the whole time.
That's kind of just cool to see, because as a commentator, sometimes we're not necessarily encouraged not to do that kind of stuff, but I guess we're just sort of just now getting to the point where we're feeling comfortable with, admitting or showing our friendships with our co-commentators. And so it was kind of cool to see those two just kind of get down like that.
Well, I think it's what we've talked about in the past about the fact that the Tekken Tour has had a consistent team. So even, because Steve and Eris knew each other and you bring Rip into it and Mark. These guys all knew each other and had done some commentary before the tour, of course, because they're all in SoCal. But when you do it that much over and over again, it really develops a rapport, and it's not something you can do by just doing, every 6 months, once a year.
Right.
Like, these guys have been basically every month they've been doing it, and that's at least 1 or 2 days. So.
No, totally, and I think the audience really appreciates that more so than like. I wouldn't say that's great commentary or bad commentary. I think they just appreciate that kind of like camaraderie and that kind of chemistry because it gives them somewhat of a special, a shared moment, basically.
I think that sort of rapport brings people into the game.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about the level of them calling the matches, and that's a different thing altogether. But this was good commentary because it made the game seem endearing and exciting.
Right.
It gave it a familiar vibe. Like, hey, these are people who not only know the game, but they're also in a laid-back atmosphere where it didn't feel too stiff. You didn't feel like commentary was stilted. These were people who were just kind of riffing on each other, and that's inviting.
Yeah.
So.
Keep it up. So that's pretty much it for the year for them, right?
There is another qualifier in, I believe the Tokyo one is coming up this weekend.
Oh.
And then December 10th, I want to say. 9th or 10th is
I think it's a week after PSX.
King of Iron Fist Finals in Japan. I'm not sure where that is actually. But and that's the grand finals for it.
And that's happening when again?
December 10th.
Okay. Wow. Just jamming it all into December, man.
Well, I'm pretty sure they wanted to get it done by the end of the year because, obviously it's the 2016 finals.
Right.
And with Tekken 7 coming out early in 2017, they wanted to give themselves room to where they could kind of release it whenever they want.
Right. That would make perfect sense.
Yeah,
and
December 10th. And come on, you can load up.
That fiber optic treating you right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the best.
December 10th. So there's that.
Okay.
Okay, so apparently the Tokyo might be in 2 weeks instead of this week. Okay, that's what I'm getting told in the chat. So Tokyo finals.
Okay, cool.
I believe at the finals, Harada said at the end of North American finals that we should expect at least one more surprise coming for console, so that I think everybody's assuming that's going to be a character or two. I don't know what or who. It better be the damn bear. But
yeah, it'd be kind of weird not to have the bear in it, right?
I really would love them to add Kuma. I just don't think they will because the cast is pretty limited, and a lot of people never cared for the animals or the kind of goofy characters.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, if I can say something without personal bias, it should be one of the Changs. It really should. They've been in every game. They're sort of a staple, like the Mishimas in the Tekken series.
Mm-hmm.
I would be really sad if we don't get one. So, here's hoping. I know other people want different. People want Capos. People want Lei. I just don't know that they're going to show up.
Characters they can choose from too. I mean, and the thing is, consoles, the way Tekken console games have been released, they'll give you a listing of characters, but then there's always the hidden characters, right?
Well, that's the thing, is that even if they don't announce all the characters, we could still have characters
that just
on
unlock.
console release where they're, especially with everything being hooked online, they could do time release characters in the game. I mean, we'd find out because of data mining, but still.
Right. Well, I guess that would definitely discourage them from talking about that kind of stuff then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got Miguel, so I think that's pretty good. All Miguel all the time, baby. And then, when not Miguel, maybe some Paul or some Dragunov. Maybe King 2.
I think Sparrowgen definitely got MVP for the 2-day event because people were either shuddering in horror or cheering every time that man hit a death fist.
Oh boy. It's so good.
It's so good. When
you feel satisfied as someone spectating, just watching someone get punched really hard and they lose a third of their health.
When you lose like 30% to a death fist, though, you start questioning things. Like you're wondering maybe you need to go to church tomorrow.
My favorite death fist though was like the rage drive death fist, but the stage was like in such a position that it was at an angle that it pushed them back like it normally does on block, but they hit the wall, which like staggered them and opened their guard, and he just picked it up from there. It was like, oh man, that's like some combo video only spacing stage positioning, like opening up. That was so good when I saw it. It's like, God, that was so great.
But I actually had during the finals, I actually put up a series of tweets that were kind of just Tekken terminology, and I had a really good response from people who were just really interested in. I was really happy to see that. I know that in a lot of ways, Tekken Tag 2 was really only for the hardcore Tekken fans, and a lot of people who might have otherwise tried the game were like, "Man, that's a lot of characters. 2 characters. I'm not really comfortable trying to learn that to get into this game." But I'm seeing a lot more positive vibes and a lot of interest going into Tekken 7, and I hope it stays that way. I'd really like to see people pick this game back up and have a successful scene again. Yeah.
Just try to have fun with it, I guess. Like what I would tell most people is just like, you don't have to like be a competitor, but like a lot of people just play Tekken because it was fun,
Yeah. Yeah. That's why a lot of people got into it, because, well, I mean, obviously back then you just sort of played games at the arcade, and Tekken Tag 1 looked so good at the time. And people were like, yo, this game is sick. And then when it came out on PS2 and it actually looked better than the arcade, people were like, damn, it's even better than the arcade. So.
That did kind of surprise a lot of people. They're just like, what? Really? How'd you pull that off? Processing power, baby. Blast processing, excuse me.
Wow.
Sega holds a trademark on that. You can't use it on the Sony PS2 console.
Oh, we can't? Okay.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo did have blast processing.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. I don't get it.
Did you not see the commercials in the early 90s?
I did see them.
Well, then
I think I had a Genesis.
I didn't have a Genesis, and I knew Sega had blast processing.
I had a Genesis. I didn't have a Super Nintendo.
Oh, Jesus, guys, come on.
Are we really going to bring back the 16-bit console war, guys? Come on, man.
I actually was... All right, so, real talk, this is the last I'm going to say about it, but we were actually talking about the Genesis versus the Super Nintendo experience at the earliest point of Super Nintendo's release, and it was kind of like, oh, snap, like, Sega's kind of got a 16-bit console that can pretty much labor through itself to do 16 bits of worth of graphics, and then you got Super Nintendo that looks just increasingly better with every generation of games that get released. And yeah, we kind of bitched about Sega for like a solid week, and I realized, like a solid hour, and I realized, man, I've been hating Sega since I was a kid.
Hey, welcome to my life.
I thought I loved it this whole time, and I'm like, wait a minute, that game looked like crap.
You mad about it?
I guess I am. Jeez.
They got better. You're not a Vector Man fan?
Vector Man was cool at the time. I definitely don't hate Vector Man. I don't hate.
What I really liked about Vector Man is the little extra jump jet that you do. Like, it actually had like a hitbox, so like you could hurt people with it. That was cool. Just a little touch like that.
Oh, okay. It
wasn't really a big portion of the game, but you could do it if you wanted to.
Like, don't get me wrong. Genesis definitely did some things that Super Nintendo didn't. Like, I think they definitely did like the more darker, grittier graphics better than Super Nintendo games, because freaking Super Nintendo games like super freaking vibrant.
So
Gibby was all about a real hot dog. So
yeah, I was a real hot dog. All right, I had these big steel balls. All right, I had it all.
I'm not sure if it was on purpose or not, though.
No, people won't understand the reference. I don't think they will.
No. They don't know about old game advertisements.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, like so, like people just love playing Tekken because it was like, it was like the Street Fighter in 3D. They definitely weren't playing VF, so a lot of people just playing Tekken.
Back then, and even kind of now, Tekken was leading the graphics edge.
Right.
And I think we kind of lost that. Obviously, Tekken 6 looked good, but a lot of people didn't care. Tag 2, a little bit more so. But a lot of people are actually saying something I haven't heard in a while, which is, damn, Tekken 7 looks really good when you play it.
Yeah, and in motion, it's great.
And I honestly don't think about that as much, but I know there are certain people who really get into that, where it's like, man, this shit looks like lifelike. So,
well, you remember how people were saying with KOF 14, don't judge it based on how it looks on stream and YouTube videos. It's much better in person, and it does. Tekken already looks great on stream, but in person, it looks so much better.
Yeah, it really does.
Like Tenta Club just said it. It's shiny.
That's true.
It's like, oh shit, there's a Mustang, a Corvette, or some shit trash muscle car in my goddamn yard. I like it, but it's not shit trash. It's Tekken 7. It's shiny.
So, yeah, that whole event was really, it was just really cool. And I have to talk about the tournament format, because not only was the tournament format really fun to watch, it was unique. Like basically all the tournaments up to this point have been qualifiers, and because of that allowed them to sort of be really flexible with the tournament finals as they chose to do it, which was, you can do that World Cup style group stage into round of 8. And what was cool about that is you're not going to see that all the time. This was one thing. You know, maybe they'll do it again next year. That would be cool. But if I started seeing every tournament like this, that would be kind of annoying after a while, and it would take too damn long for that matter.
Oh yeah.
So
I do wonder though, is that something that they're going to have to keep in mind for consistency's sake? Like, do you think people are going to be like, hey, it worked well here, why wouldn't we use it this other event?
I think that using a group stage like that, in most cases, if you're doing round robin, it's going to be too time consuming if the game starts to get a lot of entrants. And by a lot, I mean, like, you almost can't do that with 60 people.
No, 60 men. Yeah.
And you know, you look at something like Street Fighter 5, where they're getting hundreds, and then at Evo thousands. You could never do it like that. Not ever. You could have done it for Capcom Cup, which would have been cool. But
hey, why do that when you got this convoluted point system put into place, huh?
So I'm being told it's not that complicated, guys. We're just idiots.
Look, I mean, I've been told that a lot.
Look, I'll admit we are idiots, but we're professional idiots.
Yeah.
We're career idiots. If we can't understand it, how do you expect the layman who comes to us for their information to figure this shit out?
It's true.
I mean, I haven't had an answer for anybody that's asked me. I usually just point them to Hans, and Hans doesn't answer his Twitter anymore, so.
Well, that's probably smart.
Man,
I wouldn't answer his Twitter either.
Sergey was just the fucking biggest anime titty. I do.
But
oh, man.
I think that it was nice to see it, because it was really unexpected, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't sure how they were going to do finals day at all. And once I saw it, I was like, wow, this is actually a really cool format. And it allowed them to really just keep the action rolling the whole time. There was no downtime, really. And although I'm sure there were some matches people would have liked to see that happened off stream, sometimes that's the power of being there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You want to create an atmosphere like, hey, maybe you want to go see this. Maybe you would go pay to see this.
Hey, did you want to see Kota Ibushi? Maybe you should have showed up.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But I didn't know what was happening.
That's right. Sometimes you just gotta go.
So, and that kind of dovetails in with the Capcom Cup, everything being 3 out of 5. I think that it's weird that they changed it. It's probably for the best that the whole thing is 3 out of 5, because why are you changing?
What works?
It's not really that big of a format change to go one extra game in some cases. I mean, a couple extra games in other cases. But it does kind of bore the hell out of me that we've been seeing 3 out of 5 all the time, and they're just going to do it again. Personal opinion.
Well, I mean, that's something that, like, I would almost say that it wasn't really about, you know, whether or not it was good for play, but rather not is it good for, you know, media interest? Are the fans going to want to see more Street Fighter? Of course they are. So they're like, yeah, we'll give them an extra game every time. Honestly, for me, I don't think it matters to the player. You know, yeah, you give somebody who's down a couple games a chance to turn it around. But at the same time, I'm like, that this seems more like a we can fit more matches in this way. So why wouldn't we do it? I do wonder though, like, is this going to end up becoming some kind of standard? I mean, why not just make online matches 3 out of 5? Really piss off those trolls,
Let's not do that.
Nah, man, I 3-0'd you online, bro. You can't complain.
I just.
I know.
It's just so subjective, and that's the whole thing about 3 out of 5 is that it's just 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just everybody decided that they wanted to play more and play longer sets, and if it was just one game, I wouldn't mind, but it's becoming every game, and it's bothersome to me. But
you can rest assured that will never be KOF.
Dude, that would take forever. Yeah. That's like playing 3 out of 5 CVS 2, man.
Jesus, dude. Like, we always say it, like, whenever KOF finals occur, man, like, that's like probably the only game where they will offer you 3 out of 5, and the players are like, I don't know about that, man.
Like, it's also one of the few games whenever you hear that, like, there's gonna be a bracket reset. You're like, oh, fucking really?
I gotta get home.
Good for that guy, but there's kids I gotta talk to, like, mailman coming.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait for CVS 3 to come out, and then, like, it's gonna be on, like, the official, like, Capcom Cup stuff or whatever, and they're gonna make Harrison stream it, and it's gonna reset every time.
So true story about KOF 13 grand finals at on 2013 Evo when Reynolds reset the bracket. He came up to me later on and was all like, "Hey man, like you didn't seem that excited when I reset the brackets, And I was like, "Dude, are you fucking serious?" Like,
I figured you were just gonna.
I figured you were just gonna
longer.
Yeah, I figured you were just gonna like give us a nice little 3-0 performance, and then we'd all go and drink it off or something. But no, you decided to be a hero, and at least he didn't give him another match after that. I would have been pissed if that went back to 2-2.
Oh man. So
randomness.
Removing randomness, huh? Yeah. Well, you know what really removes randomness, and that's reading the mind of your opponent.
Oh my god.
No.
We're doing it. No, we're doing it.
This is the reason why I showed up. I was going to cancel the show because I was not going to be here on time, and I didn't want to make a shit quality show. But I was like, wait a minute, what came out today? And I looked at it when you guys were talking about it earlier today. I was like, wow, I got to get home.
There's no randomness when I do my inputs, and they work for. They keep getting input for 8 out of 60 frames. So you don't drop that,
Okay,
it just doesn't move.
Tony, I'm gonna need your insider track to talk to fucking Sirloin about this, because he's obviously not gonna pay attention to me. I'm just whoever the fuck. You're the scion of Sirloin, so
you're the herald.
Yeah. Okay, so if inputs repeat for 8 frames, what does that mean? Because it also has that stupid thing where like your controller being a neutral auto text throws, and it's the Yomi throw text. So
no, that doesn't. It's not an auto text throw. Shut up. This is the Yomi counter. You do nothing. Yomi layer 0's real, boys. It blows my mind. I'm so happy. It's called the Yomi counter.
I honestly don't know what the fuck you're talking about because I did not look up any of this shit.
Oh my god!
I actually purposely avoided it.
Did you really not read it when I put it in our Discord with the @everyone here alert and then just type the words red alert, red alert, red alert?
Yeah, I totally didn't read it. I saw what you linked and I was like, hell no.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, I was completely serious about that. I like woke up at 9 a.m. I'm wondering where Tony is so we can have an in-depth discussion.
Oh my god.
Like, the system mechanics in this game are all, they're interesting. Like, there's no actual jump input. I mean, you can map it to up to make yourself comfortable, but there is a jump. There's no crouching in Fantasy Strike by David Sirloin. You can move left or right. You have an attack button, you have special 1, and you have special 2. Supers are just, attack 1 and special 1. Throws are just get close and
I like that. I like that.
Attack button and the Yom counter. Nothing. automatically reverses throws. This shit's in bold, my man.
Wait, it reversals throws?
Yeah, to throw nothing. And it's the Yomi counter. It doesn't back to them. It's not even a throw tech. It's like, did you try and throw me? Nah, I'm gonna hit you with Akira's 3-hit strike.
Hey, Chris, check the stream.
What about it?
You have to dashboard on the stream, dude.
Oh, shit.
Not only does it hurt them,
Really? It's showing the dashboard.
it also instantly gives you super meter.
Oh. Yomi counter.
So here's what I want to know. Right, in order to do this, how does that work with inputs being repeated for 8 frames? Like, does it check for if that exact instance that you got thrown, if you're manually pressing something?
Perhaps. I mean, from what it sounds like. It'll probably option select if you stop pushing. I don't know. That's a really great question, actually.
Like, this is the first thing I saw that I just wanted answered immediately. I'm like, yeah, that 8-frame buffer is really neat. Like, you know, buffers of that length, I think, have existed before. But...
I feel like the Yomi counter takes precedence over it because it says their throws are powerful in Fantasy Strike, but you can always punish the throw. You know it's coming by simply letting go of your controls. So by just not inputting anything like having a button actively signaling, I think will make sure that the Yomi counter comes out, even with the 8 frames of input. 8 frames, it's back! It's back, boys! In Sirlin form!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's in a positive light. Your inputs.
8 frames of lag, don't worry, it inputs for 8 frames. There's
It's
no,
like, yeah,
no problem.
He went the exact opposite. Instead of 8 frames of lag, it's 8 frames of buffer.
Yeah.
Man. God, I'm just like, and look at the variety of characters you have. You have Panda, the Fish Dude.
Yeah, you got Grave, you got Rook, you got Jaina.
What? Huh?
Wait, what?
It's Jaina, and then that's probably like Jaina.
Damn, Jaina.
Yeah, it's Jaina.
Now, you said there's a panda, there's some other shit. Is there a turtle in this game?
There's a fish.
The Fish Dude is kind of turtle-ish.
No. Turtles are not fish.
Well, alright, fine. There's a Rock Dude.
I don't like Rock Howard. He's bad at everything.
Fair enough. There's
Jesus.
There's CEO Slayer. I don't know what that guy's supposed to be.
CEO Slayer?
Yeah, he's Slayer.
Yeah.
And then you have Time Guile.
Wait, what?
Time Guile.
What's
Geiger? The guy with the glasses and the blonde hair?
Do they have
He's
a-
Guile.
You looked up all this, didn't you?
I've played Yomi before. What are you talking about?
So you're
I don't
familiar
know
with
how
the
to- I
Japanese
don't really
art
know how to
of
feel
reading
about
the mind
that.
of the opponent.
I only read minds. That's the only thing. No books, only minds.
Whoa. But wasn't a Beautiful Mind a book?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness.
So, I guess this is something that Mr. David Sirlin wants to be crowdfunded. It says play on Patreon.
Yeah.
So we can choose to support this or not, and it could not exist. But why would you do that for such a wonderful?
Honestly, I mean, it sounds like there's going to be some divergence of certain other things, and simplifying fighting games seems to be the trend these days, letting people become more included into these games. Mm-hmm. You know what I don't like, though? I don't like the term a new era of fighting games, because everybody's been saying that, and like, when are these eras begin and end? Like, does a game come out and the era is like 3 months and then there's like a new one? Or
didn't somebody start this discussion a couple months back and it just led to a shit mess? Where it's like, oh, this was the Justin Wong era where Wong was winning everything, and this was the
That was
Alpha
Game
2.
Chen.
Oh jeez. Oh no.
People were upset because all of them were broken down into Street Fighter eras.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was
like-
really Street Fighter centric.
They're like,
Ooh.
what about Tekken? And what about this? And what about that?
What about it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
What about the Dark Ages,
Well, we played everything and enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
where there was a surprising amount of fighting games coming out?
I don't know what you're talking about. The last fighting game I remember coming out was Capcom Fighting Evolution, and then it was like Street Fighter 4. Nothing in between.
Damn, did you black out for several years?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I was in a coma.
I didn't wake up until KOF 11.
That's really tragic. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Gibby would just pass out in a coma and then wake up every few years, ask if there's a new Capcom game, and they said no. He would just be asked to put back down.
Huh.
Well, you know what he
I
did?
guess that happens.
You know, there was something that you did on the tail end of that, I would imagine. Because, what would you say, the Dark Ages probably started getting some light shed on it probably around 1999 or so?
No, the Dark Ages started.
Really?
Around like 1990.
So the official Dark Age start was at the end of CVS2, which was 2001.
Yeah.
That's considered the beginning? Damn, I'm
Yeah.
spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
I'm spoiled.
Because that was no Capcom release until Capcom Fighting Jam.
I thought everything was shit up until 1993. So no.
No, those were the good old days.
Those were the golden age.
Really, I hated that.
You're whack.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on.
I thought it was at the inception of Guilty Gear X that we really started hitting our stride.
Oh, with the robotic.
Remember,
commentator?
we're talking about this is all based on Capcom.
Oh,
So
my
1990
bad. Because
So
I had plenty of
1992
shit to
golden.
play all that time. Is all I'm saying.
Look,
So,
we didn't want to talk about the weeb ages, okay, man?
Oh, excuse me.
So, Businessman Slayer, aka DeGray, definitely has Pile Bunker and Dandy Step. And it wall bounces on counter hit.
Is this gonna be like one of those digital homicide type deals?
Oh shit, that guy is Slayer.
And wow, Pile Bunker does 2 points of damage? You only have 6 points of health.
He's gonna get hit 6 times.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's great. But you know what you were doing?
That's why the life bar is sectioned that way. Okay.
I actually kind of, I understand why he did it that way, but at the same time, I'm just like, man, that just kind of feels like it's too
It's like
rigid.
that one fighting game.
Fighter's Destiny?
Yeah,
That's
but
the point
he
system?
was gonna have Geiger in it. He was like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't see why people try to reinvent the wheel of fighting games. Like UFC already did it.
Really?
Shrug.
Continue shrugging.
I'm gonna shrug so hard I might throw my back out.
You might need that eventually.
I mean, possibly, yeah. But no, Gibby, you definitely had something to do. And for some reason, SNK continues to resurrect that thing you did for a period of time. Market of Wolves coming out on PS4. We already knew about this, but I guess some the trophies got leaked recently, right?
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was already out.
No, it's not coming out, or it's not out yet. But with the trophies being released already, I mean the game should be coming out within the next 2 weeks to month.
Right.
That's how it usually works, I think.
I mean, that's cool. I'm excited. I like playing Market of Wolves against you and losing all the time.
No one likes playing Mark of the Wolves against me.
I was
Everyone
actually
says they love the game, and then they play me, then they hate the game. It's not fun.
I wasn't gonna mention that. I was gonna point out that hey, if you want to learn Market of Wolves, you should talk to Gibby, maybe. Because
I don't play the game anymore.
You don't.
I literally do not play it anymore.
What? You were playing it at Evo, slapping everybody
Yeah,
around?
you're literally playing this version of it at Evo.
What are you talking about? These are things that never happened. There's no proof of me playing this game.
I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody got a picture of that.
Actually,
I'm sure somebody was like, "Oh man, this guy." I got a friend who's actually really good at Market of Wolves, and he's gonna fucking beat this Manchester guy finally, who thinks he's all nice and stuff. He's nocturnal.
Wow. Wow.
damn, bringing out the big guns, huh?
That's right.
Let's see.
So,
Where's that nocturnal guy now?
Somewhere in the valley, I think.
I mean, I think he's in the chat, but in probably another chat.
Wow.
So you're not excited at all? You don't care?
I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but almost all old games that come out on PSN 360, they have a week to 3 week lifespan.
Oh yeah.
That's it. I would love for people to play this game, then I'll start playing with people again. But I don't think it's gonna happen. People will definitely buy it. You'll have a lot of casual players, but not very many people are gonna take it serious. You'll probably have maybe 5 to 20 people in the States trying to take it serious, and then they're going to play like a good player that's going to mop them, and they're going to stop.
It is hard. I remember when we played a little bit at the house, I was like, this game's fun, but it's really, against somebody as good as Gibby is at it, it's sort of beating your head against the wall, and there aren't the level of resources that would make putting your time into it effective, I guess, is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And there aren't other people who are low-level players to play with.
There's Hell Pockets.
Damn.
Wow, I'm switching the camera off my face just for that. Son of a bitch. Yeah, you can play.
Chris was in NorCal, so
I live in NorCal. I actually brought it up because I thought it was very cute how one Tyrev got really excited that the leak happened today, and he posted like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready for this," and I'm like, distinctly remember you pretty much ripping him a new butthole about that kind of shit at Evo. And I just wanted to know your thoughts on, him getting excited for Market of Wolves when he keeps ducking you actively. And so does everybody else that, wants to play this game against you. Except for me.
Who are we talking about?
Everybody.
Oh. Yeah, sure, I'm excited for the game. You can see it all on my face. I do want to play it. I'm going to get it when it comes out. It's going to be the second... Or no, I forgot. I got free PS4 games. So it's going to be like the 6th or 7th PS4 game I own. I only own KOF14, and I'm borrowing this game. Can people see it?
We're not on there right now.
Wow.
I'm fixing your camera.
Oh, you're fixing my camera. I see.
Way to make me break the fourth wall. Come on, man.
But yeah,
we're doctoring the footage as we speak.
From my understanding, it is just a straight port of the game.
Yeah.
It's not like a revamp. People at Evo were saying it's like an HD remix type game.
Wow, really?
But it's not. From what I played of it at Evo, the alpha build was played very similar to the PS2 and 360 version, which is good. But there was a shit ton of lag on it. Like, it was at least a quarter to a half second delay.
Which
when
means
you press a button.
Now, I was wondering if that was because of the TV.
It could be because of the TV. I'm not certain, but SNK, Atlas, everyone assured me that this is not going to be there. But that's the current build that they had of the game, but it's not going to be there when the game comes out.
Okay. The other thing, obviously, that people would maybe be looking forward to is possible good netcode, considering what we got with 14 being pretty damn good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. I think that would definitely help it go a long way towards being, playable by more people than just you and Knock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Knock doesn't have a PS4.
Well, then it'd just be you then.
It's just going to be me sitting in training mode waiting for someone to play me, and then, oh, hey, look, I found someone. Oh, no, they're in Japan. Their ping is 400. Oh, no.
Yeah, you're used to that, right?
Yeah, I am, actually.
Gibby actually just going to buy a second PS4 and then match himself across the house and run back and forth.
I'm going to do that shit like, who does it? Sagem does it. No, not Sagem. Art does it, where he has a Steam account and he's got a PS4 account. And then sometimes the two accounts match up against each other when he's on stream. That's what I'm going to do.
Nice.
But, it's good for SNK, but at the same time, it's nothing big, it's nothing special. It's just something that's there. Because they need to release, they have a huge log of games that they can release. The problem is, so this game came out on Dreamcast, PS2, 360, PS3, PS4, and very likely Steam. So that's 6 releases of this game in 17 years now.
And still nobody wants to...
No, it's not nobody wants to play it. It's, like, what else do you got for me? Like, you going to come out with something else other than King of Fighters? Like, King of Fighters 14 is nice, but where's the new Samurai Showdown, new Fatal Fury? Make a whole new goddamn Neo Geo Battle Coliseum.
I would say that you probably... if you're SNK, would do better to look at a lot of those older games. I mean, obviously, you've been asking to do it. They keep releasing KOF 94 up until 98. That seems to be like, their song and dance up until
they stop.
Then they stop, and then like, wow, what happened? Then they're like, hey, you want 2002 UM? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not, right?
Well, no one's certain about that. People claim that due to SNK's bankruptcy, they couldn't release the original versions of 2000, 2001, and 2002. If I forget how true that is, I don't think it's true at all, but they say they can't release those games. But I don't know.
Well, I mean,
what do I know?
They've the weird thing for me, and you mentioned it just now, was NGBC. And NGBC was like a game that got a re-release pretty quickly. And like,
it was a good re-release, by the way.
Yeah, it was really good. I actually downloaded that about a year ago when you were here. And they've never done anything since. And I remember, like, people always said, wow, the netcode's really good in this game on 360.
Yeah, up until KOF 14.
Yeah, now
maybe
KOF 14.
98, maybe 98 FE on Steam. People are mixed on that. It's always been good for me.
Yeah.
But outside of those, like, the best online game for SNK was Battle Coliseum.
Yeah, and
that game played almost perfect with everyone I played.
And so it's just weird that they've never revisited that, and now we're getting freaking Fatal Fury, you know, with the Sengoku.
Yeah.
And hey, at least they're putting Nam in there, right?
Yeah. I'm happy. I want to play the crap out of it.
Yeah, you get to play that shit.
It's a little weird. I wish, obviously we keep seeing the same games. Like, how many times have they re-released Metal Slug now?
Oh, man.
There's so many SNK games that I know people would love to see. I guess maybe they just can't financially justify releasing them because they don't think they'll sell. I don't know. They
may just not be properly prepared to do it, is what I think. Like, they may, like, a lot of these games, they've been re-released already, like we said. So they kind of got, like, a quote-unquote source code for how it's done, and they can kind of just like plug and play depending on what platform they're working with, I would imagine. And then there's also the argument that, hey, it came out for this platform, why isn't it on this platform? We're gonna bring it to all the platforms, and then we'll start a new catalog entry, and I think if they're doing it that way, that's not entirely a bad idea. I think that gives them room to actually build up a second entry to the catalog and maybe go beyond 98, possibly go beyond, dig a little deeper into their library, maybe hit up that Kabuki Clash shit or something, like.
Or hell, I mean, even Real Bout or Real Bout 2.
Yeah,
they're Fatal Fury games. Like, it has a name that people recognize.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
The problem is SNK is still like banking on the old diehard Neo Geo fans. Like, those are the people who buy all the games. Like, it's all the re-releases and everything. People complain like, oh, it's like a rehash, it's a piece of shit game, whatever. But they buy it anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's $7 as opposed to like hundreds.
When are they gonna release Dominated Mind?
Oh man.
I haven't played that.
You want people to be introduced to white?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I need to look this up.
I don't think they've ever re-released Dominated Mind, have they?
No, it came out on PlayStation and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a really huge log of games that they can go through and release.
You know what
I think the thing is they so with KOF 14, they're bringing in new fans, cool. With all these old games, they can't bring in new people because they're just gonna see like, this game doesn't look good. Whatever. Screw it. It's gonna be shit like that. And I was just saying all this with that awesome guitar playing in the background is amazing, by the way. Like, I feel as if I'm telling a story, like a short story on like someone's album. It was great.
It's just the ukulele. Come on.
Yeah. No, but like it's really bad of them to just keep doing this. And I understand that it costs money to produce like a new game. They need revenue, and these games help bring in revenue. But how? Like it's been what? Neo Geo's been dead for 13 years now, technically. I think that's when 5 Special.
They've had time to work on it.
They've had time to do other stuff. Like, it's been 13 years of rehashes for the most part.
Yeah, and I went on Twitter like when they announced the latest package, which is the completely retro as hell package,
mm-hmm.
And I was kind of like, I mean, okay, yeah, we haven't gotten these games, but like I don't think anybody really was expecting that after you released Last Blade 2, mm-hmm. and then you put Last Blade on Steam. And I'm like, hey, okay, we're getting a little creative with like our decisions here, and then it's like, Sengoku, baby, like, oh, I remember playing that 3 times.
Yeah.
Here you go. Samurai Shodown 5 Special came out in 2004. Okay, so since 2004, they've released Neo Wave, Battle Coliseum, Samurai Shodown 6, KOF 11, Metal Slug 6, 98 UM, Sky Stage Regulation A.
Ooh, Sky Stage.
They've basically released 11 to 15 games, and so some of these 11 to 15 games are just like 98 UM, 2K2 UM. They're just rehashes of old games.
They took on a life on their own, though.
What's that?
At least with the UM series, those took on a life on their own. So.
Oh no, they did. Don't get me wrong. It's just you can do something new.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of have to. But that's why KOF 13 was good. And while people don't like the way KOF 14 looks, it's a step in the right direction. It just shows that they're trying, and that's good.
And now they're talking about Fatal Fury and new Samurai Showdowns, and I'm like, okay. Let's really revisit some of that old stuff. Maybe let's get Fatal Fury past special, maybe 3, just vanilla 3, fine.
No, you don't want 3.
I did not spend enough time with vanilla 3.
Yeah, that's the best answer for that.
Was that a recorder?
Yeah.
It definitely is.
That's the sound of people
trying to warp to like Dungeon 1 right now.
If she plays it twice, she goes to 8. Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to go into Turtle Rock, man. You can't do that.
She's not ready. She's not ready.
It's dangerous to go alone, Chris. Should know these things.
Don't just give her a recorder. That's a whack weapon, Chris.
I went alone everywhere this weekend. Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, speaking of this weekend, there was some fighting going on.
Some fighting, man. Oh, baby, go ahead and talk about it, because I'm still feeling great about how that panned out.
Yeah, you're just feeling great because you won money on
Dude, that shit was hilarious, man. That
Tell
guy,
me you wouldn't.
my buddy.
I mean, that's so sad, man. How are you gonna take that guy's poor guy's money like that?
Dude,
man?
no. So that's my buddy Sal. And I right before it started up, I'm like, so who's gonna put down money for this fight? And I wanted to put it on Alvarez originally, and he was like, no, I've got Alvarez, and I'm like, you're an idiot. All right, let's do this, right? So obviously,
Damn, Chris trying to lose, but his friend won't let him. That's a good friend,
won't even
Chris.
let me lose, right? And so it happens, and like immediately after it happens, he starts texting his wife, and that's why I took a picture of him.
That was the meanest picture ever. Like, just like, honey, I just lost us dinner this week. Sorry.
No, you know exactly what he said, honey. Thanks to Chris, we're gonna be eating ramen for a month.
Hey, you're welcome.
You gotta remember, he lives in the Bay Area, right?
Yeah, he lives in the Bay Area. But so like,
there you go.
The rest of the story goes like his phone like dies like 15 minutes after he sends that text, and he doesn't even look at it until he wakes up at 6 a.m. the next morning because his wife called him to scream at him about the message he sent the night before. Best 140 books ever made in my life.
Marvelous.
Fantastic.
So good old McGregor delivering on another promise to dominate. He's dominating a weight class below him or something. Is that how that worked? I don't know how
he dominates all the weight classes.
He dominates all the freaking weight classes apparently now. He's got the one below and one above him now.
But yeah, that was funny, and honestly, that was one of the most hilarious promos, interviews, uses of mic time I've ever seen, where he's just like, I want to take this time to apologize to absolutely nobody. That was awesome.
Dude, that's what they get for putting that boy up in front of the camera.
That was the best wrestling promo ever given by a non-wrestler.
Dude, so hey, this guy's a liar, man. That dude loves wrestling. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I'm sure.
That guy can't wait till I get on that WWE contract.
He makes so much damn money right now.
I mean, no, he does, but it's just like, did you see his press conference, man? Where he's just like, I'm gonna show up in a fur coat and take it off. Here comes the chair. Like, whoa, what's wrong with you, man? All he did was take your belt.
He knows how to sell tickets.
Can we replace Pork Brosnan with McGregor?
Please. I'm not big on pork. Please.
The point is, though, that made that fight much more interesting to watch Because if you just watched it for the fight, man, like, you'd be looking at my friend there on his phone. Like, oh, geez.
Well, and, even tying this into fighting games, how many times have we talked about fighting game tournaments being a lot more interesting when you are invested in something?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, an individual player's story from beginning to end, or the people who are talking about it. Like, as a showman, McGregor gets people invested in it. Because he either makes you really love him or really hate him, or you're just like, man, I can't believe, what the hell is this guy gonna do next? He just threw a chair at somebody.
Right,
so, and he knows how to sell. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, is that he puts asses in seats, he draws eyes to the product, he knows what the hell he's doing out there. And then he just clowned on that dude.
Like, that was,
wow.
I almost can't believe that happened like that, dude. I mean, all right, so I've got my own theories about it. I did tweet out that, Dana White, or rather Big John, did protect the investment with that, because if you had been watching the other matches that night,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were not stopping those matches off a knockdown, man. They were just like, go ahead, beat the shit out of his... I don't want to see you stop until blood comes out of his ears.
What was it? The Romero match.
Oh, yeah.
He hit a flying knee. And the guy was out. I think it was... Weidman?
Yeah, Chris Weidman, who's finished, by the way. He's done.
Yeah, no, that knee just ended him. And he got like another 10 shots at least?
Yeah.
Before the match was stopped?
And that was happening in the women's match. Like, that girl was on top of that chick for at least 5 minutes, just like, checking what's on her mind.
I honestly think the reason there was such an immediate stoppage was that Alvarez was just getting so dominated. When he got knocked down like that and Conor got a good couple swings in, ref's like, he's like, cut it.
Yeah, he's done.
This man is done.
And that's how you're supposed to stop it. So I'm not even complaining about that. So, like, but the thing is like, you do that and then you have these other matches beforehand, and that's what I will complain about, because that shit is dangerous, You let somebody get their head bounced against the ground. Like, it looked like freaking CM Punk. And CM Punk only had to deal with it at least for like 20, like maybe 2 shots. I mean,
you could have almost made an argument that Alvarez could have been done in the first round.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Well, so the Punk situation, he got taken down and he was still trying to defend himself, and then it was just a wrap. Whereas when Alvarez hit the mat, that was it. Like,
his hands weren't up. He was just getting hit.
It was like nap time at the fucking daycare center, man. Like, they just put like a cookie next to him. You're gonna wake up to some more milk. This shit's over.
So.
Well, man. Alvarez is a fraud, though. But anyway, I definitely.
Oh, you're gonna really bring that word into it, man. I wrote an article and everything.
Hey, we got to segue. Speaking of fraud.
No, I don't want to segue just yet. I just want to say Woodley Thompson. We need to talk about that match.
Oh, Woodley Thompson,
that match. Sweet Jesus! Like, look, I've been watching UFC since like the first 3 UFC men. Like, serious shit. I still have them recorded from my old black box that my dad used to have. It's great.
Oh man,
Jesus.
And this is serious shit. That is one of the best fucking fights I've ever seen.
That was amazing. For the same reasons that I was talking about earlier. They were not stopping it. They would not stop it, no matter what.
They didn't stop it because, like, he was defending himself the entire time. He's being choked out in the guillotine for a minute and a half.
He caught a couple to the face pretty bad, man.
It's because his nose was all bloodied up. That's why it looked bad.
Yeah.
That's really it. But man, that Thompson kid, whew.
No, he takes some damage. Like,
well, I mean, the rematch is going to be wild, I'm sure.
Yeah. This kid, he had like those snaps to his kicks. Like, his kicks were like lightning. His kicks came out of an anime. You don't see it, and then boom, what he just hit me with? It was the shadow.
No, man, that's Jackie Bryant, man.
Done handcuffed.
Yeah. Oh, dude. No, so like the whole thing is like last night's fights were great. Like, for the first time in a long time, I was like, wow, every
Damn, you time traveled? Is it Sunday?
Or shit, Saturday. My bad.
Okay. I'm just messing with you. You were in Vegas for the weekend.
Yeah, I did do a little bit of time travel there, now that you mentioned it. The Saturday's fights were just like that was like the first card in a long time where I was like, wow, all these fights are really good. And then we get to watch McGregor fight Alvarez. Like,
I just want to interrupt you really quick. It always goes that way. The undercard is generally good, and the main event is always shaky. It's either really good or it's just shit. Like, that main event was shit.
The prelims are always good. I'll give you that. But sometimes that undercard is just like, man, these dudes are phoning it in. Like, sometimes those undercards
it was not a good fight, but it was damn fun to watch.
Yeah. I want to see more fights like that, though. I want to see people just
you just want to see somebody just get destroyed?
Destroyed, man. I want to see somebody just, like, get their head caved into the floor, you know?
You just want to see somebody have to feel like they got to retire every time they get out of the octagon? Like
yes, please. I mean, well, that's what they keep saying, like, this is a tough business, guys. Like, well, then let them fight it out, shit. All I know is every time I watch a Diaz brother get into a fight, it's like, dude, his face exploded. And he's still walking.
Those guys don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They'll fight anybody.
They'll fight a freaking tractor if you give it to them, I swear to God.
That family was built to take hits.
Like, they need to be maximizing that. But obviously, you know, things are taking a different direction with them, with the whole, with the new ownership and whatnot. But I don't want to talk about UFC because this is not a UFC show.
It's true. But we already did. So
we already did.
But you mentioned frauds.
I did mention frauds. Speaking of frauds, this fraud over here, Paul, wrote an article about himself.
I got it, man.
You got me there.
See that shit coming.
Yep, never saw it. So I put a piece up on iPlayWinner about basically people, what's the best way to, making excuses for why they lost and mitigating other people's wins and hard work. And if you're interested in that sort of thing and you've done it yourself, because you probably have, check it out if you got a few minutes. So, because I'm really tired of that word, and I'm tired of exposed, because it's gotten to the point where they don't really mean anything except to just take accomplishments away from players. And of course everybody has done that. I did it in the past. But it creates a really toxic environment in a lot of ways, and it also, you know, it's just a shitty way to look at it, and it stops other players from improving too. Like, if you keep making excuses for why you're losing, and your excuse is not I'm bad, then you're probably going to have a hard time getting better. So
that's actually that's something that, like, I mean, obviously people, we joke about why we lose to people, and we accept that we're bad, you know, like I lose to people all the time in fighting games, and I don't have any delusion that I'm better than anybody that I lose to. But at the same time, I'll make the joke that, oh man, you didn't beat me with my real team, or hey, try that on my Joe, or, you know, crap like that. You know, just the Ribba guy. But even that, I can kind of feel like contributes to that a little bit, because, like, well, the guy may understand that I'm joking with him. Maybe as somebody who's like watching from a third party, it's just like, geez, like, what an insufferable douchebag, you know?
What a toolbox.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I guess people just gotta be conscious of that, you know. I mean, obviously you can't just, like, you know, stop ribbing your friend. That's just, you know, age-old tradition.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when people know each other, it's a lot different. But, you know, when you get people on, basically, you know, stream chat is great about this. When anybody who comes on who has any sort of notoriety, everybody's just like, they lose. They're like, that dude is a fraud. And it's like, I bet he beat your ass. Like, stop.
He's exposed. Yeah. Dude, nobody's doing that to anyone more than Shin, man. Like, I am so sad about that. People give Shin so much crap because he didn't qualify. And I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Like, he just...
It's like, dude won Evo a couple years ago. Come on.
With a character nobody was touching. Like, what are you... what was that about, huh?
But what has he done lately? Like...
I mean, I understand that people want to be like, well, okay, maybe, you know, he's not that good at Street Fighter. Okay, that doesn't take anything away from him as a player. Maybe Street Fighter 5 is just not his game right now. Maybe it will be in the future. Maybe he just has to play more. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, like, it's not like he's not a good player. He's already proven that he plays multiple games at a high level, and so have several other people that constantly get this fraudulent stick. But I think a lot of this is rooted in the simple idea of taking the visible person down a peg, you know?
Oh, it always is.
Yeah.
Like, the thing that gets me, and I have 2 points for this. The first one is how whenever you see somebody like, oh, you know, let's say Arturo goes up to play and he uses to Joe Blow Alex Player from Kentucky. I don't mean Kinder Party. I didn't mean that. But So he just loses to a random guy, and suddenly you have every jackass in the fucking stream chat just going like, "Oh, Hard's exposed, washed up, shit's a wrap," right? But then you have the other extreme of the spectrum where like Daigo barely doesn't win a tournament, gets like 5th or something, in like a shark-infested murder pool.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly everyone's like, "Oh, this game's too random." Obviously established players like Daigo can't qualify. The game's bad.
Oh, that was that shit that was happening in freaking Seattle, wasn't it? Where people were just saying like, "Oh, congratulations, you really closed the skill gap." Oh no, I'm like, what?
What? Like, what the fuck?
Well, and it's just because people don't, especially when it comes to games, and I mentioned this in the article, people don't understand that just because a game is in the Street Fighter series does not mean that the game is the same game and that all the same skills necessarily transfer. Yes, a lot of things do, but not everything does. And Street Fighter 4 had very unique mechanics, much like Street Fighter 3 did, that are different than Street Fighter 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of people lost their character from Street Fighter 4 to 5 too. So you're looking at not only a new system to learn, but new characters to learn. There's a lot of nuance, and sometimes you find a sort of synthesis with a character or affinity for a character that you can't find in another game. Like, it's like, hey, I didn't have this character in Street Fighter 5, so I'm having a hard time finding a character that really meshes with me the same way. That doesn't decrease you as a player, as long as even though you've proven that you're a great player, it just means maybe that it's not your game. That's okay.
Perfectly fine. And just have fun with it.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. The second point I wanted to make is the word good. Like, we use that to describe people, right? But good is so fucking objective. Like, if you're like, "Yo, man, Tony beat the shit out of me. He's pretty good." What does that mean? Like, maybe Tony doesn't block on wake up. Maybe his DPs are like, 11 out of 10 accuracy. Like, every DP he doesn't throw is guaranteed to hit, so I get so afraid to not even pressure him on wake up. But
all of these are true.
But we get so attached to this word of what we perceive to be good, right? Like, if I watch somebody that has like the sloppiest confirms, but their neutral's amazing, I'm like, this guy's fucking sloptimal, right? Like, I can't say that he's good by my perspective. And this is something interesting that I saw that the Japanese do, is they don't refer to people as being good. They use another objective term that doesn't have an immediately positive connotation. They just use the word strong. Because they could be you could play like a trash burglar where you could be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, there's certain games that just allow you to do stuff like that. Like, hey, you play a very set play heavy Milia where it's like nobody ever guesses right against you. You probably can't block to save your life, but if you ever sweep somebody, they
lose.
They die. Like, have the guy stay up. Like, this is like fucking. This is almost a given thing for any given Slayer player. They will not block on wake up. They can wake up, backdash, jump away, right?
Mm-hmm. They
can BDC anything. Would you say that them not blocking makes them a bad player?
Yes, I will say that.
Okay. See, that's of course. You wouldn't say that they're good. You wouldn't agree to that. But if I told you this guy will wake up, backdash, bite you, moppa you, or jump away every time so you can't pressure on wake up, would you say he's strong?
Yeah. Because he's basically taking away your options.
Yeah. And he's effective in his own way.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the King of Fighters, We got, certain Evo champs who backdashed on wake up every time, and nobody seemed to realize.
Yeah.
I mean, it also comes back to what we've also talked about in the past, is that doing something because it works, even if it's technically, quote unquote, the worst idea, it's the best idea.
Yep. Like that one move. This move
winning,
sucks. You have no purpose. Except you can maybe use it this one time, and then you use it that one time, and they're like,
"Oh shit, it's unblockable, man."
I mean, the point of a tournament is to win the tournament. That's why you enter.
Mm-hmm.
But
at least in some level. Some people just do it to test themselves, or some people do it to get better. But the point of a tournament is to find a winner. Dude. That's how you judge who the best person is.
Exactly.
One.
And like you said, some people do it to test themselves, and they have a multitude of reasons, and so we can't really venture into these black and white details. Like, it's getting to the point where, like Infiltration is, pretty much the god of Street Fighter 5 right now, and to the point where he's at ESL practicing Balrog in top 8. Does that make him a bad Decision maker? Yeah. Horrible decision maker. But he's strong as fuck, man. He's good. I'll say that. He's good.
You ain't whooping him?
That dude makes
Yeah,
people,
exactly.
That dude made people quit games he didn't play.
So and I understand, like, this is, don't get me wrong, this is not going to go away. People are still going to, get a little tight when they lose, and of course they're going to make excuses. And I'm not saying that, we're all going to magically poof and it's going to go away. But I think that if people are really interested in trying to improve as players, it's better to be thinking more about that and thinking about the way you react to losses and how you move forward from them.
I react to losses with Wake Up DP.
If I could give a very personal anecdote here.
Oh, man.
And a very recent one, too. I played Gibby like 2 weeks ago on KOF 14 online. And, he's got a standard dinosaur team, and, we were just playing back and forth. I'm trying to pick up Xanadu, and we're just blah, blah, blah. I get down to his dinosaur, and suddenly Gibby has combos. Like, max mode, fucking half damage live, confirming in the fucking climax, just killing my ass off a cross-up jumping, and I'm like, fuck, this sucks.
This used to be so fun.
Yeah, like, just keeping this character out used to be fun. It'd be like, oh, he got a cross-up, maybe this is a tick throw setup, or like, one Ankylo hammer. And now I'm getting Ankylo hammered loop into the corner into a cross-up setup. I'm like, fuck this. If you actually had a mic on me the entire time I was playing, fucking, I'm not one of those savages that plays with a mic on, they would have just been like, the fuck is this? This is stupid. Like, who the fuck lets this dinosaur fucking armor my jump in and then cross me up for half my life? Like, fucking extinct ass piece of shit. Bring shit like that. But
He's not
after...
He's the last of his kind.
So, afterwards, like, I would wait my turn for the next person to go. And the entire time, I put the stick down. I'm just like, on a piece of paper, I just write down, boy, I suck. And I would jot down how I got crossed up, how I can keep this dinosaur out, and just be like, man, fuck Gibby, he's fucking me up. A strong ass dinosaur.
Like, once Gibby started giving a crap about combos in this game, it's just like, oh, dude, I don't want to deal with this shit, man.
Yeah, it's fucking, it was fun. Like, I got, 10% because he got a command throw on me. Now it's like, oh no, he jumped in. Fuck!
How big is that hitbox? Holy crap! Gigantic.
It's just like a fucking dinosaur blots out the sun and just the word stress appears over me. But yeah, it just kind of came to terms where it's like, well, I'm currently outclassed. I need to fucking step this shit up.
Yep.
But, I'm not just gonna fucking go online and be like, fraud ass fucking Gibby. If I had, fucking the same amount of time to practice at home and make tamales and shit, I'd be fucking strong as fuck too.
Maybe if my hands were broken in 35 places, I'd be good.
None of y'all can make tamales like I can make tamales, right?
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, but you can't make them the way I can either. What's that supposed to mean?
I make them better.
You're both strong tamale makers.
Hey, I never said that. You never said that either. I just said you can't make them as the way I can.
So you're basically saying you're both strong tamale makers.
There you go.
I'm a good tamale maker.
Oh, what the fuck? No.
Cut it.
I'm an excellent tamale maker.
Oh, Jesus.
Just to kind of sidestep that, I would like to point out, I think we are at 1 hour left for Skullgirls pre-orders. If you want the physical copy at limitedrungames.com. It's $40 for the PS4 one, and I forget the prices. $40 for the Vita one, and $75 for both.
Yeah.
So, I would recommend getting both, as both will very likely be a collector's item, whether people want it to be or not.
Yeah,
they said 10,000 have been made, or 10,000 have been pre-ordered. So that's total.
Oh yeah.
So that means
10,000 also means.
I know that earlier they were under 100 to get the 10,000 mark.
Oh, they reached 10,000.
Yeah.
So they got the goal of the Japanese. What was it? Japanese voice actors being
Japanese voices.
Yeah.
So.
I ordered mine, and I can't wait to huff the shit out of that instruction manual.
Yeah, dude, full color instruction manual.
I
Dude, I am so excited for an instruction manual.
And you get the soundtrack.
And I'm still probably gonna play Solo Bella because I'm an idiot.
It's okay.
You chose your path.
Yeah, you gotta be happy with that.
Do what you have fun with, man.
I wish I could play Solo Daimon.
Ratio 4
Yo.
Daimon.
Yo, KOF allowed solo, man. I'd just be playing Terry.
Well, you can play solo Daimon. Just pick 2 characters before him. Just let them build meter, and then Daimon.
Or play party mode.
I want to be really strong.
Like Daimon?
He's just like, oh, that's a.
Just nothing. You got nothing.
He's like, damn, I don't know if I can
All
accomplish
right.
that.
Tony,
Do we have
Tony.
any final thoughts? We are.
Yes. There's some signs of life from River City Ransom Underground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just came out
We
with
got
a
the
new
first character teaser.
His name is Bruno now. I'm gonna call him Bannon anyway because I like that much better than Bruno. But
They all seem like they're based off of the developers to some extent. So
yeah, more or less. I think
dipped out on that.
I'm glad that they're like showing stuff now. A lot of people were getting kind of worried, myself included, on the status of the game and whatnot. So I'm just glad that, hey, we get to show them that, there's some real progress going on, and all the things they've been saying about how each character has 30 signature moves and whatnot. It's like, oh, well, there it is. It's all true. It's probably a bitch and a half to program also. So, I mean, cool. I'm just really happy that they're able to make some progress on that, and can't wait to play it. Can't wait to stream it. Can't wait for the rest of these character intro videos to come out. And you should check them out at, I think it's rivercityransomunderground.com or something like that.
They even updated it to where now it says Arc System Works.
Oh, yes. Now that they got the ArcSys boys on board. So,
Yeah.
we're official.
They made the deal before when Technos was just having Arc System Works make their games, but not the purchase. And when I saw that happening, I saw that they were going to make a Downtown Neketsu SP, and I was just like, oh, I wonder if that's going to happen to this game now. Are they going to be like, nah? But I'm like, no, they're probably contractually obligated to let them do it. But hey, it seems like, they're down with ArcSys as well, and hopefully good things will come from this.
Yeah, hope so. Anyway,
Well, it's nice to know they're down with ArcSys, but are they down with the sickness?
even I'm not down with the sickness.
All right, good. I think we should end the show on that, right?
All right. Any last thoughts? Last thoughts? Nothing?
When in doubt, dinosaurs.
All right.
No, don't do anything. Yomi counter.
Shut up.
Shit.
Go.
God damn it. We could have gone without hearing that
Tony, what about the dinosaurs' natural evolution? The geese.
again. Predictable.
Make sure you watch us next week when we have a great episode you're going to not want to miss.
Yeah, again. All right, that's the thing. I told everyone not to miss this episode. You're not going to want to miss it. Next week, phenomenal fucking episode. You will not want to. Make sure you tune in. We will definitely be on time this time, okay?
Phenomenal?
We will very likely have a guest as well.
All right. Thanks to everybody for listening to another episode of Super Desperation Radio. So from everybody here, good night and good luck.